This episode of The Bill and Callie Show is brought to you by Executive Suite Squared by ATG, offering private and shared office space with 24/7 secured access, 3 state-of-the-art conference rooms, shared lounge and cafe area, receptionist, printing center, and fiber optic internet access with Wi-Fi throughout. Conveniently located just south of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue exit at 2901 Carlson Drive in Hammond, Indiana. For information on how you can become a member, go to executivesuites2.com or call 219-844-2901. Executive Suite Squared, home to the Bill and Callie Show. All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special edition of the Bill and Callie Show called Neighbors. And with us...
if you hear a weird clicking sound, I think that it's aliens typing all the information into their computers as we're talking. That's the only thing I can figure out.
I think so. So with us today, we have Lori Utesh, and then we have Addison
and Stacy
Brown and Stacy Brown, and then we have Ryan. So welcome to the show, and we're so happy you all could be with us today. And this is the start of something we hope that will continue on. Now, I will have to start off by saying, just so our viewers out there know, Governor Holcomb has announced a stay-home order, which means that we're not going to be able to go out like we used to and visit stores that are still open and say, trying to encourage people to still give them business. We're going to have to stop that, unfortunately.
But we can still go to restaurants and things like that and do takeout and delivery and keep those people in business.
But this is not going to stop. We are going to take the computer home and do this from home because we feel that it's important. And I hope that everyone that views this will see how important it is to keep connections across the state lines and across city lines. So with that, why don't we start with Lori? Lori, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
My name is Lori Utesh, and I am in Porter County right now. I'm from Valparaiso, and I am a graduate student at Purdue University Northwest Hammond campus.
Cool. And then Addison?
I'm Addison. I'm enrolled in Indiana right now. I go to the school. 6th grader there.
Cool. And we're going to get back to you, talk a bit about your project. And then, of course, Ryan.
Tell us about you.
Hello, I'm Ryan Gustus. I'm from a western suburb of Chicago called Woodridge, and I am in 7th grade at Jefferson Junior High.
Perfect.
Awesome. So first question I'd like to ask everyone, what do they see now that both of our states are under the same similar order? What do you guys see happening in your neighborhoods? Are people still going out and making connections with people?
Do you see people walking and doing things outside?
So in our neighborhood, Governor Pritzker, who is the governor of Illinois, he announced a stay-at-home order, but announced that you can still, go for walks and stuff like that. Although soon coming up, I believe he's announced, in some states they've announced where you can only stay on your property in some places. In our state, you can go for walks and stuff. But me and my mom, since we really don't have anything else to do, have been consistently going for walks with our dog and things like that. But you could tell that there's a considerably less amount of people out. Like typically, you'll see quite a few people, while you're just walking around, but you only see like 1 or 2 other people out there now.
Right. And Lori?
What are you seeing?
It's about the same as Ryan just said. Of course, Governor Holcomb just, within the last couple of hours, we were kind of officially put on lockdown. And the neighborhood is just so silent. And it's generally a quiet neighborhood, so it's not, but we typically see people out walking or running or or just kind of hanging out in their driveways or out in their garages, and we're not seeing that. Usually when I take Philip for a walk every day, and when we're walking, we don't see anybody. Very, very few cars. It's just kind of a ghost town. So it's very strange. It's a very surreal feeling. It has been for the last couple, like the last week for sure, but the last week and a half or so, it's definitely slowed down a lot.
Yeah. And Addison?
So my neighborhood lots of kids in it, and throughout the week, you just see less and less people out. I just went to my grandma's and we spent the night there with my cousins, and we were driving home and you barely saw anyone on the road or anyone in the neighborhood.
But to be honest, we've been on lockdown since the last day of school. I have a daughter with an autoimmune disorder, so they've only been allowed to go to their cousins, grandmas, and all of us have not been in contact with anybody.
Right. Oh, boy. We got to apologize for that little clicking, like
we don't know exactly what
it is, but it's somewhere. Like Kelly says, it's aliens typing messages, interpreting what. Since we have so much and so many awesome people, they're probably trying to break in and find out what's going on. So,
well, I know for me personally, what's really freaked me out more than anything is driving down US 41. And seeing all these stores and restaurants where there's normally just cars and cars and cars, and now you drive and you see nothing.
Right.
It's kind of creepy.
It's ghost townish. Yeah, totally ghost townish. And to drive down the main street in Highland and see all the stores closed, and now, boy, it's
it'll be even more so now.
Even more so now. So you were talking about your stores. Now, evidently, a lot of people, they're honoring this and they're staying at home, and they should, because we're trying to stop a lethal virus to age group that is really at risk here. So, have you all had a chance to walk through your business districts at all, or drive by? Lately, are most of them open, or none of them open, or what do you see?
So with us, since we had the stay-at-home order a little bit earlier than other states. We had it with the first round, like with California, New York, and us were the first three to get it. So with us, a lot of the businesses shut down. Like they would stay, like all they have is carry out nowadays, or like in this time. So until there's like so in my neighborhood, we live in a very quiet neighborhood where all you see is like people running, and there's hardly ever cars going by anyways. But we also live, like, if you take our neighborhood street out, we live on a humongous main street that is like one of the biggest streets in our suburb for sure. And there's, always consistent traffic. It's like a highway on those streets. And there's like, one or two cars every minute or so. Like, it's just a ghost town now.
Yeah. And Lori, what do you see in downtown Valpo?
Nothing. There's nothing. The majority of businesses closed within that first week. Of course, everybody was advertising and going along with the carry out and delivery, and they're still doing that, and we're trying to support those people as much as we can. I think they're really awesome for doing that. Unfortunately, we also have the people that love the scare tactics, and they're trying to. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to do, but making sure that those small businesses are taking the precautions that they need to take, masks and gloves and stuff as they're preparing food. It's valid. It's a valid concern. And so there's a lot of that, unfortunately. So people are starting to even back away from that. I've gone to the grocery store. I've had to go to the grocery store a couple of times, and my dog is trying to jump off the table here. Meijer always seems to be packed, no matter what. It has been for the last. I've been there a couple of times in the last week, just to pick up, basic stuff.
Now, are you seeing the shelves kind of empty?
Yes, and so that's where it really starts to get to me. I did go to Target yesterday. I had to get Benadryl for myself. and just kind of walking around. Target is starting to get emptier and emptier as time goes on. And Benadryl was almost completely gone. So it's these things where you go to get something that you think, why would people be, hoarding this, or why would people be going crazy over this? But there were maybe 2 bottles of Benadryl left. The shelves were completely cleared out, and then going down the aisles, of course, where the paper towels and the toilet paper would normally be are completely empty.
Right.
And I still don't understand it. I'm not going to question it anymore. It's gotten a little crazy, but just seeing people, especially elderly people, walking down those aisles and seeing the looks on their faces when it's empty. These are things that they need, and it breaks my heart. So that's something that I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah.
That the people who, legitimately need it cannot get it. And that's very concerning. So that's been the last week for me. I've been out of school. They closed campus about a week and a half ago.
And you are just a real quick question. Are you e-learning? Mm-hmm. Are you on their management system?
Yeah, so this last week that we had, it was the first full week that we had was actually our spring break. So we weren't doing anything anyway. So this week is what we're, and there, of course, because it's campus wide, it's school wide. We have technical difficulties with e-learning and everybody trying to get on at one time, or whatever, and all of those things are happening. So it's not a perfect plan right now, but we're all keeping in communication. That's the main part right now. We're all keeping in communication with our professors through email and text messages and stuff like that to try and figure out the next best step. Thank goodness I'm in the last year of my program, so we still all have our internship sites that we're going to. And the silver lining is that everybody's being very understanding. We're all in the same boat. So it's not like it's just this one particular group of people and everybody has to acclimate and try and adjust to this one. It's everybody. So we're trying to hang in there. But right. Yeah, e-learning is where we're, in fact, e-learning, they've decided is not only just for the rest of the semester, but throughout the summer as well.
All right. And while we're on the topic of e-learning, now that we have 2 students with us, well, actually 3, but 2 students that are not up to college yet there, Lori. So, Ryan, since you dropped out on us for a while, you had technical difficulties, right? So I'll ask you first, what has been your e-learning experience? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We're not hearing you, dude.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think one of his teachers disconnected the audio.
All right, we'll
get back to you, Ryan. So Addison, tell us about your e-learning experience.
It has been kind of different. Like I've been in e-learning for here and there, but not this long. It's been really different because you're not all these kids are not able to see their friends and stuff because of this, and you're just not able to talk to your teachers if you need help. You're able to email them, but sometimes they can't answer the specific question you're asking, because sometimes they'll get I had a teacher that was off topic and she barely answered my question.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of hard. It's just, I like being able to sleep in, but I still miss my friends and miss actually going to school.
Sure.
Yeah. And do you still keep in contact with your friends somehow through telephone or?
Yeah, lots of my friends, thankfully, they have their own phones, and then I have my own phone. We'll FaceTime, we'll call each other, we'll help each other with sometimes homework or schoolwork. We'll help each other with that. So yeah, we all keep in touch.
Well, that's good.
Great. Okay, so Ryan, let's see if you're you can talk now. Can you say something? Uh-oh.
No!
No. I think one of your teachers got to you. No, we can't hear you, Ryan.
No, we don't hear you. All we see is your handsome face.
Ryan, why don't you disconnect and reconnect? I'm wondering
try
if
again.
Yeah, try again. Can you hear us?
Okay,
There,
he must have.
All right. All right.
So how
go
is
ahead.
this making you feel? How do you feel about what's going on? I mean, is there anything that makes you a little scared or anything that makes you worry about what could happen in the future?
I am a little bit nervous about all this. It's just because my little sister has like a low immune system. And then it's kind of scary because it can pass really fast and easily. And I just think it's kind of scary for all the not even the adults and the kids, just to see how ghost town, how it looks like a ghost town and no one's out.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be really strange. I mean, even for me, being a big-time old grown-up person, it's weird. I never thought I would live through something like this. I thought this was only a plot in a Stephen King book or something. I didn't think this was going to be reality. So
Yeah. And
it's strange.
Say I'm about to turn 60, and I tell you, I've lived through some pretty catastrophic events. I know socially we were all shocked when President Kennedy was assassinated. It didn't affect, we went through a long time of mourning and all this analytical things about what went on, how he was assassinated ad nauseum, but it really didn't affect the entire community the way this did. Now, 9/11 came close, but still, it didn't affect us. We weren't told to. The flying stopped, obviously, for a period of time. We all
But
had
that
to be
really
cautious.
brought us all together,
Right.
And it was something that only affected the U.S.
Right.
It wasn't global.
But this, I've never seen something that has drawn such a concern out of everybody the way this has. I've never seen anything affect our economy that where massive amounts of people were having to stay home. They couldn't work. And people got laid off in masses across the United States. So I've got to say, from my perspective, I've never seen anything like this. And we stopped off at Les Cafe, and the original owner, the dad, who had been in business for like 40 years, said he has never seen anything like this to affect his business the way this has. So it's interesting. Now, one thing I know that a lot of organizations that we work with, they have been hugely affected by this. Their fundraising has come to a stop. They are, the food bank, I think, is one of the biggest concerns because they have to feed some people that have no other means of getting food, and they're dealing with, their volunteers are now sheltering. Their staff has got to go down to a bare minimum, but yet there's all these people out there. So I wanted to ask, because specifically Addison and Ryan, you guys do some wonderful things for your community and people at large. I tell you, you're setting an example for some of us older people, us boomers, as people refer to them. Let me see, Ryan. Let's see. I think it must have sent some sound. Or say something.
Hello.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
So
All right.
tell us what the Backpack Project is doing right now during this.
And just hold on, but give us, actually, before you start, give some people a very quick explanation what the Backpack Project is.
So a quick description of the project is, it's a project I founded and started when I was 9, and what we do with the project, me and my family, volunteers, and donations, we pack backpacks full of necessities and hand them out to the homeless. And mainly in the city of Chicago, but we've reached other cities too through family members. And
what do you see if this having an effect on you helping the homeless and the homeless in general?
So recently what the project did was the day that Governor Pritzker, which is our governor here in Illinois, announced that we were going to be having a stay-in-home order. It started at 5 p.m. that day, so we actually went out earlier in that day to try and get distribute that day before, we would be stuck at home and not be allowed to leave our homes very much, or if at all. So we distributed that day. And then what we're doing now is we've always had our online donation set up. So we're still accepting online donations. Pretty much the only thing or struggle that we're having is during this time we can't distribute bags. But we can still take stuff in, organize stuff, pack bags at home and things like that. We just really can't go out and distribute them. So that's why we tried to distribute on that last day before we had the stay in a home order officially set. And then kind of like what you guys were talking about with those food banks for just homeless in general, the food bank near us at least, what you guys said, they kind of went down to a bare minimum staff, but we really think that it's still going well, mainly because they're staying open, so still allowing those people to get in and eat food. And then another thing with the homeless is near us, pad shelters, which are basically all run through churches and local businesses that will accept them, have pretty much all closed, which is a big problem for homeless people because that's in the suburbs, at least a place where they can go at night for a lot of places, or at least get a meal and warm up or something like that. So near us, what they've done is if you see a homeless person, what they do is PADS has gotten a phone number. So it's only near us right now, but they're hoping to expand it, where you call them and then they try and go out and help the homeless person.
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah. Great.
Good.
Great. Great job, Ryan. Now, Addison, what are you experiencing with your Smile Bag project? And give people a brief overview, as Ryan did, about what that's all about.
A brief description of the Smile Bags would be bags with toys, coloring books, Kleenex, and both depending on all ages. The ages are babies to teenagers, and about how many bags as the police departments need, and I drop them off at the police departments. And what I'm doing with these bags right now is we're government Holcomb just announced we're going to be stuck at home. So my plan is to make just start making more bags. I make my bags in the basement, so I'm just gonna make some bags, listen to music, and just wait until we are able to get out of the house and drop off the bag. I think the last time I dropped off the bag was about 1.5 weeks ago. Because I'm not able to drop them off each day because I have to contact the police station first and make sure I'm able to drop off the bags.
She was supposed to go to Hammond and Munster this Friday, and they got canceled because of this. Addison offered to have it put at our front door, and the police officers could come get it, and they said no, that they wanted her to drop them off. So we're actually going to go the end of April.
Okay, good. Boy, I tell you, man, oh man. The thing that Addison and Ryan, you two are still concerned and still going, getting things prepared for when you can get out there, I think is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Lori, what are you doing for Philip during this, terrible time?
He's still trying to figure out why we're all home all the time. I'm very much a routine. I like the structure that my life had, so I'm struggling a little bit with that. But I also, as Callie knows and as Bill is aware, we have We Too that we're starting to work on already. That's coming up in November, and this is actually, especially being on an official kind of lockdown, this does affect domestic and sexual violence, unfortunately. So the rates are going to skyrocket. The statistics are going to go up while everybody's on lockdown and being quarantined, unfortunately. And so that's going to put a whole new spin on We Too for this November. So just trying to kind of follow along with that and stay in touch with people, and remembering to check on friends and family, and making sure that everybody's kind of keeping that communication open, so people feel like they have somewhere to go and somewhere to turn to, even though we can't physically turn to people. We can still FaceTime. I never used to be a fan of FaceTime, but it's been my go-to recently because it's pretty therapeutic to see a friendly face. Allie and I FaceTime for about 3 hours the other day.
In fact, that's what I saw my daughter, because my daughter is very close to her friends. She has a group of like 8 friends that they've since high school been together like this, and then college she picked up some. So that's what they're doing. They're using Zoom to stay connected. They had a wine clutch the other day, and she posted online. I said, "That's my daughter." Boy, but yeah, it's one thing that I think people debated about whether Facebook ever helped us, and I got to say it probably hurt us more than helped us. But now with things like Zoom, Life Size, Skype, there's so many things that can bring us closer and keep that connection. Although it's not the same.
It's not the same.
No, it's totally not the same.
But it seems so strange to me that an object that we've been constantly told, put it down, start talking to people, stop looking at your phones. Now everybody's like, use your phone, start calling people, start talking to people. So it's a whole different thought process right now.
And Lori, I know Kelly saw this. I saw a meme that said, exercise good social distancing, put a llama between you.
Because that's the right length. So I think everyone should get a llama just so they know exactly how far away from each other they should be.
Yeah.
We finally have a legitimate reason to have a llama.
Right.
That's right. So we're going to have to go to Addie Acres and visit them and just put a llama between us.
And I was telling Lori, I get mad sometimes because I really want to have a chicken and I'm not allowed to. And I think now because of this, everyone should get to have a chicken because everybody needs a pet that can poop breakfast for you.
Oh, boy. Well, boy, oh boy. I tell you, we can't appreciate you guys doing this. And we're going to keep doing this every day because we feel that this is important. So before we wrap things up, do you guys want to go around and do one last thing? Maybe tell us something.
How people could maybe get in touch with you if they have concerns or ideas or want to know more about the things that you guys are working on, like the We Too and the Smile Bags and the Backpack Project. We'll start with Ryan.
Okay, so with the Backpack Project, well, to start off with the ways to get in touch, the best ways to get in touch with us is we stay really tight with our social media pages, which are, we have Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and they're all found with either the Backpack Project or at Pack the Kindness, which is our hashtag. That's our hashtag. And then we also have an email account, which is just ryanhelpsthehomeless@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Oh, another puppy.
Yeah, why don't you guys bring your puppies on?
Yeah, everybody get your puppy.
Today's puppy day.
That's right. Everybody show your puppy.
Oh yeah, puppy day.
Yeah, there we go. Everybody's loving on their puppies.
Oh, boy.
And Addison, how can people get in touch with you?
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
There.
Perfect.
So far I just have like a Facebook page. But on the Facebook page, there's a link to go to a website, and on that website, it shows the most recent. Even on the Facebook page, the Facebook page Miles of Many Smiles.
Miles of Many Smiles.
The smile bag. Page in my website, it shows the recent news from the smile bags. And yeah, you can also, if people want to donate, you can donate on the Facebook page or the website.
Awesome. And Lori, if people want to get more information about We Too or want to find out maybe some organizations and things and they want to reach out to you, how would they best do that?
We have our Facebook page, We Too Journeys of Resilience. And then if you would like to email my team directly, it's nwiwe22019@gmail.com.
Fabulous. You guys are all amazing, and you are the ones that bring the miles of many smiles to my life.
Yeah.
I adore you all.
We're going to stand up and give you a standing ovation right now.
Yay! We love you. Thank you so much
You know,
for being the first people to be a part of this and for joining us and for being my friends and my sister.
You guys are our rock stars.
You are, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right,
for
we'll
what
talk
you do.
to you soon.
We'll
Love
talk to
you
you soon. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.